Ukraine launches counterattacks in Kursk, Pokrovsk sectors. The Armed Forces of Ukraine, or AFU, have launched counterattacks and recaptured lost positions in eastern Ukraine and inside Russia. The tactical successes of Kyiv's forces were a setback for a Kremlin strategy that has deployed relentless firepower and accepted often massive losses in men and equipment as the price of its attempts to permanently gain ground from the AFU. Russian mill bloggers on Tuesday confirmed Ukrainian troops in the Pokrovsk sector, the epicenter of a grinding Kremlin offensive since early 2024, advanced more than a kilometer on an 8-kilometer wide front to break into the Russian-held village of Pishychane in the Donetsk region. Video published by the 425th Separate Assault Regiment Skala deployed to the Pokrovsk sector showed its infantry supported by bomber drones pushing through the village of Pishychane and winkling out Russian defenders in a professional-looking night attack. The geo-located images showed careful tactics and liberal use of grenades by Ukrainian assault troops. A Skala statement claimed 2 Russian soldiers were taken prisoner, with pro-Moscow mill bloggers confirming the loss of the village. Unconfirmed reports said AFU units had also taken 2 villages adjacent to Pishychane, Dachenska, Vodyany Drugi, where Ukrainian infantry was reported to be digging in. The AFU lost control of Pishychane, a tactically important settlement controlling supply routes to the city of Pokrovsk on January 7 to 9th, following waves of Russian attacks, the geolocation tracking group Deep State reported on Wednesday. In Russia's western Kursk region, where a surprise Ukrainian offensive launched in August initially carved out a sizable chunk of Russian Federation territory centered around the town of Sudzha, combat reports said that Ukrainian units had recaptured lost defensive positions west of the Russian village of Malaya Lokhnia. Drone video published by Ukraine's air assault forces on Tuesday showed dozens of infantrymen and up to 5 armored personnel carriers attacking positions under Russian artillery and mortar fire. Tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, and combat engineer carriers were also visible. An official statement said the images showed elements of the 82nd Air Assault Brigade, a formation independently geolocated to the eastern flank of the Kursk salient, carrying out the assault. Ukrainian advance on the southeastern flank of the Kyiv-held salient inside Russia pushed a wedge some 5 kilometers and 3 kilometers wide into Russian positions. Previous action reports had identified the backbone of Russian defenses in the area as being the 177th Marine Infantry Brigade, a coastal defense unit originally based in the Caspian region. Unconfirmed reports on Ukrainian military social media claimed elements of Ukraine's 21st and 22nd Mechanized Infantry Brigades carried out supporting attacks and had advanced around 4.5 kilometers. The 21st Mechanized Infantry Brigade is considered a high-quality formation thanks to its unique Swedish training and equipment, which includes Sweden-modified Leopard 2 tanks and CV-90 infantry fighting vehicles. The unit has been fighting in the Kursk region since late November. Notwithstanding the Ukrainian counterattacks in the Kursk and Pokrovsk sectors, Russian assaults in those areas continue. On the west side of the Kursk salient, assaults by Moscow's troops on Monday and Tuesday liberated some 15 square kilometers of territory around the town of Sverdlikovo. Those attacks were continuing on Wednesday, the Ukrainian military news platform Militarny reported. Russia's defense ministry claimed on Wednesday that the armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to demolish AFU formations in the Kursk region, and said hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers had been killed or wounded, and nearly 40 Ukrainian combat vehicles destroyed over the past 24 hours. However, battle reports from both sides contradict the claims, and Kyiv Post researchers found no reliable evidence to support a massive Ukrainian defeat. Most accounts said active combat had dropped off dramatically on Wednesday, and the front line was generally quiet. Baku-based military analyst Adjul Rustamzadeh, in an interview with the Ukrainian Ukrlife news channel on Wednesday, said of developments in the Pokrovsk sector. In the past 2 or 3 days, I am seeing that in the Pokrovsk sector, the pace of Russian attacks is falling off. A Ukrainian army statement on Wednesday said that 30 out of 95 engagements recorded by Kyiv forces over the past 24 hours had taken place in the Pokrovsk sector. During periods of intense Russian attacks in January, those figures rose above 150 assaults a day, half of them in Pokrovsk sector.
Roger. Watch out! Hey, we got friendlies at the road. Yeah!
Ah.